living in Berlin, so I'm just so blessed to have been able to have a beautiful day with her today, just discussing one of my favorite subjects, which is herbalism. And she educates people on herbalism. You actually take people out into nature or show them how to be foraging for their own herbs. And
teaching is my favorite. It's my favorite thing to do when it comes. I mean, of course, I love working with the plants and being in the kitchen, but I really love teaching.
And you've got a really beautiful way of expressing and teaching. Like, we've just spent a couple of hours just talking about, you know, a product that I'm super excited to be sharing with you guys soon. And I just really wanted another person's point of view who is just so full of wisdom and passion and love for herbs, and I've learned so much in this time. I really want to share some of your wisdom with my audience. So yeah, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So as some of my viewers probably already know, I am 4 months pregnant, and I have really been enjoying having some herbal teas. If there was going to be one herb or herbal tea that women that are pregnant could be having to really sort of help nourish their body through their pregnancy, what would that be?
That's a very tough question.
Sorry.
What I love about herbs is that there are so many of them. It's difficult to choose one. I guess when we were talking today, we were talking, I want to say two.
Yeah.
I really liked the combination of rose and white tea. To me, rose is so classic. You know, I always think when people say they don't know anything about herbalism, or if they say they don't understand how can a flower have a meaning and that kind of thing, I say, well, what are roses? And everybody knows, like, roses are love, right? And beauty. And I just think they're so nice for, how can I say it, supportive, nurturing. The white tea, I really like. This may sound strange, I kind of like it because it's so bland, it's really neutral. I tend to like herbs like that because I think that if you're pretty sensitive, it can be easy to kind of get yourself out of balance by taking too much of things, and so I really gravitate toward the herbs that bring you back to center. One of my, I take it back, not white tea, not rose. My very favorite herb of all time is oat. This is my absolute favorite basic tea. I always think, just like you have the oat flakes in the granola, to me, oat straw is usually the base of any nutritive blend or any tea that's intended to be for nutrition, which I think is really what you want to go for when you're pregnant. Is rather than thinking of it as herbal medicine, of thinking of your teas as a beverage, like part of your diet.
If somebody was going to be making a nice salad to have with the main meal each day, is there a herb or two that you would recommend adding in there?
The first thing I thought of when you asked that is olive oil. I think a lot of times, because it's an oil, people don't think of it as sort of as an herb. You know, we tend to think of leaves and that kind of thing as herbs. But so many of the foods that we eat on a regular basis are coming from plants. And where is that line between food and herbs? There's not really a line. They really overlap into each other. And olive oil is just one of the most amazing herbs, I would say. Herbal extract, could we call it that, you know? So I would really recommend, if you're making a salad, yeah, it's great to have all different kinds of greens, but use some really, really high quality olive oil that you are sure is really olive oil. There's a lot of adulteration, which is a big issue in foods and also in herbs.
Is there some herbs that are often found out in public places, like in parks that we're just walking past, that could just be beautiful thrown in a smoothie?
Absolutely. One of my favorite, and I really like using the common weeds. I really try to encourage people, when you're foraging, use the things you see all the time that are really familiar, easy to identify, and that you know there's just tons of them. I think people are often drawn to wanting to find these, you know, obscure, rare, interesting things, but really just eat the weeds. So one that I think most people are probably familiar with, if they look at it, is called longleaf plantain. It has long, slender leaves. and the veins look like they're parallel. It's pretty easy to spot. It's a wonderful herb. It's pretty bland in flavor, so it's not going to really change the taste of your smoothie all that much. It's a fantastic gut healer. And again, like I said before, I really love a lot of very neutral types of herbs, and I would consider it fairly neutral. It has a really important herbal quality that's missing from a lot of people's diets, which is it's a little bit slimy. And these, we call them demulcent herbs that have mucilage in them. It's kind of slimy. It acts much like mucus to protect the lining of the gut and helps with gut healing. So especially if you're having any kind of digestive upset, it's very soothing. And it's also highly nutritious. So there's no reason not to throw it in. Just make sure it's not someplace where the dogs have been peeing.
Because a lot of my audience are right into using like natural and organic skincare. So what was your little tip about tea bags? And also, is there a particular sort of herbal blend in the tea bag?
A lot of times when I'm traveling, I end up buying a box of chamomile tea. The reason for this is that chamomile is a really, really useful herb, for one thing. It's kind of, because it can do so many different things, a lot of times I end up using it when I'm traveling. If you infuse it really quickly, just for a couple minutes, it makes a really nice, light, kind of, I don't know, apple floral type of experience, and it's really beneficial to help you get to sleep, which is useful when you're traveling and in a strange place. If you let it steep longer, for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, it gets a little bit slimy when the mucilage comes out, and also gets bitter. And both of these qualities are really helpful for digestion. So again, when I'm traveling, sometimes I eat something I'm not accustomed to, and my digestion's a little bit off. Then I'll steep the chamomile a little bit longer and use that as a digestive aid. Then also, chamomile is really effective as a topical wound healer and pain reliever. And so then if I have any kind of cut or scrape, especially if my eyes are getting irritated, then I'll use it as a poultice and just take the tea bag and apply it. So tea bags can be really, really handy for poulticing, which can get really messy if you're using loose herbs. So that's one of my favorite uses of tea bags.
And are there any teas in particular or herbs that you would recommend pregnant women really steer clear of?
In general, when you're pregnant is not the time to be focusing on detox. We all have some crud in our bodies, just like, there's always going to be some dust behind your furniture. That's how the body is supposed to operate. And when we are focusing on detox, we're kind of pulling all that stuff back out and putting it into the bloodstream. And we really don't want to be doing that while we're pregnant. So I would say, in general, avoid detox as a strategy while pregnant. When I was taking my nutrition class, for my final paper, I wrote about the health effects of MSG. It was a topic I'd always been curious about, because you hear from some people that it's totally safe, and then you hear from other people that it has all these negative health effects. So I thought, okay, I have to write a final paper for nutrition class. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity and really dive into this topic. So I researched it pretty thoroughly and looked at all the science and had to write my bibliography, all the things you have to do with the term paper. And what was really interesting to me is that I think the most dangerous thing about MSG almost never gets mentioned. And that is that, so when researchers want to research obesity, and they're using a rat model, when they're using rats to study obesity, what they do is they inject a pregnant rat with a large dose of MSG during a certain phase of gestation, and that destroys the baby rat's ability to feel full, to what is called satiety, to feel satiated. And so that's this phase in humans. It's between 2 months and 5 months of gestation, where the brain has started to develop, but the blood-brain barrier is not yet in place. And so that means that anything that is in the maternal bloodstream goes straight into the fetal brain. And so what happens is the glutamate receptors in the brain can get blown out by a high dose of MSG. And then that means that for the rest of this child's life, it's not going to be able to feel full. And some researchers think that this is a huge part of the current obesity epidemic. I personally think that foods that are really high in MSG, and this includes the natural forms, hydrolyzed yeast extract is basically the same as MSG. I really think that these foods should have warning labels on them that say that they should not be eaten during the first 2 trimesters of pregnancy. So that is my health tip for pregnant women who want to have healthy babies.
Wow, that's fascinating. Gosh, wow. Because you've spent a lot of time out in nature foraging, have you ever seen any fairies?
Of course! Yes, of course. I see fairies all the time. I was really lucky that, so I grew up out in the country in Connecticut in the United States. And even though I was all by myself until my brother was born, my mom told me, you never need to be lonely. You can always talk to the plants and animals. And so I just did, and I was friends with the bugs and friends with the plants and things like that. And she actually raised me with a lot of fairy stories. So she told me, and I realized when I was older that all the fairy stories that she told me were really got me outside. It seemed like it was really the agenda. So one thing she told me was that when it snows, there are diamonds in the snow, and if you get out there before the fairies get them, you can find diamonds. So whenever I woke up in the morning and there was snow on the ground, I just put on my clothes and get outside as fast as possible to try and find the diamonds before the fairies got them all.
That's so sweet. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming along today.
All right, thanks a lot. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name is Anne Merrill, and my website is www.annelouisemerrill.com. See you there. Take care.
Bye.